Your information station. WTIM.
I'm Avery Cooper on the WTIM Morning Show. Your street brought to you by Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark and People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first. I mean, you're on the phone with Senior Life Solutions Program Lead Nurse, Amy Graham. Great to have you here, Amy.
Hi, thanks for having me.
So tell me, what is SLS or Senior Life Solutions?
So this is an intensive outpatient program for behavioral health. What that means, it's a program where patients can come in during the day to get help with if they're having issues with like grieving, maybe issues with guilt, depression, anxiety, maybe they're having a difficulty adjusting to something new. So the idea is to come in a group setting and spend their time with a therapist and learn how to cope, maybe learn some coping mechanisms, view things differently in a different manner. We also have a psychiatrist that comes in once a week to see the patients, and he does medication management as well.
I see, and you said it yourself, focusing on behavioral health.
Yes, yes.
Dive into that a little bit more, if you would.
Well, for us, behavioral health is mental health. And for a lot of people, so we are a Medicare-based program, so we serve those 65 years of age and older. Really, that's a big thing for a lot of folks, especially at that age. A lot of people are dealing with loneliness. They've lost a spouse. Their kids are raised and on their own. They're feeling like they're not needed as much. They're still maybe possibly grieving over lost ones. They're also the loss of self-sufficiency. It also could be dealing with chronic illness or pain. It could even be financial problems. And so a lot of this can lead to a lot of mental health for these people. These people may never have had these issues before, so it's really new to them. Sometimes they're not sure how to deal with it. For some folks, this could be an ongoing problem, and it could be just that it's gotten worse. And again, they just need that extra help to get them through that, to help them deal with it. So later on, if they have a relapse, they know what to do to help them get through that again.
What's the need like in the community for the Senior Life Solutions Program?
So what's the need? Well, I feel there's a huge need. We do see a lot of stigma still. Patients are very reluctant to come in, which is, it's very understandable. This could be a very tough subject. A lot of these folks in that age were really taught to keep it quiet, just to deal with it and go on. So we're really working hard to get people to come in and talk about it. It's tough and it's hard to deal with, and a lot of times they do need that extra help to get through it. So we really want to work through getting through that stigmatism so people aren't so ashamed or embarrassed to come in and get that help they need.
Feels like the behavioral health awareness of seniors, like you mentioned, is a little bit, lack of a better term, it's a little bit lower on the personal sense than, say, their children and their grandchildren. And I know you kind of mentioned it a little bit. They were taught to just kind of keep it low. Maybe you could divulge into that a little bit more. Why do you feel like that is the case?
Well, that's what a lot of patients themselves have told me. It's tough to come in because that's just the way they were raised. Fortunately, a lot of our patients have a lot of good support from their kids, and their kids are the ones, for a lot of them, that encourage them to come in. So I do believe that there is some truth to the fact that they were taught just to be quiet about it, just simply from the fact of what patients have told me. So we can get them through that. We've hit a home run. And we've experienced that. We've had a really hard time getting these folks in. So we encourage them to come in, check out the unit, meet the staff. We really educate them on what we do here. So getting them in that first day, it is a tough, it's work. It's really tough. But we really work on it. We get them in here. And it's so funny because the hardest part is getting them in here they're feeling so good. They've done so well in the program. Then it's tough to get them out. They don't want to leave. They start joking, well, I'm just going to start saying I'm sick again. I got to stay longer, because they get comfortable. They know that this is a place that they can come and talk about their problems and not be looked down upon or criticized. They feel comfortable because they're in a group with other individuals that are experiencing some of the exact same things that they are. So they not only learn from us, the therapist, the nurse, they also learn from each other. And that's a big boost, because learning that you're not alone, that others like you have experienced, is a big boost. So they get comfortable. And that's where they get a lot of help. They improve their own self-esteem when they're able to work out all of their problems.
When they come into the unit, what would they find?
We have a very nice, colorful unit. It's very simple. We're off to the side, so it's very secluded. There's only 3 staff. There's myself, we have a therapist, and then we have a unit clerk / certified nursing assistant to help. We have a big group room. We always watch eagles nest, so we can watch eagles every morning with the little babies. They come in. We always have coffee, water, juice. We always have fresh fruit every morning. So we try to make it very welcoming, very pleasant. We try to have some laughs along the way. They're greeted every morning by the staff. Staff are with them the whole entire time that they're here. There's never one point in the day when the patients are here that the staff is not present with them. And then we escort them to the door at the end of the day.
Sounds very therapeutic, just the setup.
It is. It's very therapeutic. We want them to be very comfortable. We tell them, especially when they first start, when you come in, we don't expect you to come in and just open up. We want you to be comfortable, and when you feel like you can open up and start talking, that's what we want. We don't want to push you. We want you comfortable, and you're doing it at your own rate so that you get the most therapeutic benefit out of the program.
Sounds like that's the goal, ultimately, getting the most that they can out of the program.
It most certainly is. And we keep them very involved from day one. They're involved with their treatment plan. So, with every decision that's made, they're a part of that decision. We don't do that without them. So the treatment team makes up myself as the nurse, the therapist, and the psychiatrist, and then that patient as well. So every decision that's made is with that patient in that process.
Tell me a little bit about that process, too. Where do they start? And, maybe where do you find them in the middle of that process? And where do they end up by the end of it?
Well, to begin with, it's just a referral program, so anybody can call and refer an individual. It can be a physician, it can be a friend, it can be a priest, it can be a neighbor, family, anybody can refer. It's basically just a phone call to us. We have the phone number of 217-707-5660. That is a direct line to us. They'll call. We'll ask a little bit of information about that patient, name, phone number, address, who their primary care physician is, and a little bit about what is going on with that person that they're calling about. I will then call that person. I never divulge who referred them unless it is their primary care physician. I let them know that somebody is concerned about them. I give them a little bit of information about the program, and then we set a time for them to come in and we do an initial assessment. The initial assessment is an assessment of their depression, their anxiety, and just of their cognition, and then just a general series of questions that relate from childhood up to their current status in life. And then from there, we set up for them to come in and see our psychiatrist on a Thursday when he is here. And then from there, we typically start them out coming to 3 days a week to the program. So then at about 6 weeks, we reassess them with some of those same tools we did upon admission. And then we just basically base that off of some of those scores off of their continuation. And again, we ask them, how do you feel? Do you feel like you're doing better? Do you feel like you need more? And then we want to know what else is it we can do. We do have treatment plans. We do have goals. So like one treatment plan For instance, somebody is not sleeping real well. So then we'll start working with them on ways to help improve their sleep. That could be a treatment plan. So we have goals with that. So it's just a ongoing assessment. Every day when they come in, we have them fill out a form. It's rating how their depression is, how their sleep is, how they're feeling emotionally. Is there anything critical or stressful in their mind? And that is usually what is gone over in that first session. So a typical day consumes 3 sessions with the therapist and the group participants. They last 45 minutes with 15-minute breaks. That's really where they get a lot of their therapeutic interventions, their coping mechanisms. They're replacing negative thoughts with positive thoughts.
Let me reintroduce you here and then take a break, come back, talk a little bit more about the Senior Life Solutions Program. That's the lead nurse, Amy Graham with Taylorville Memorial Hospital. I'm Avery Cooper. Your stream brought to you by Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark, and People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first. Back with more in just a moment right here on WTIM, your information station.
WTIM.
Voting in our elections. We need to get tough on illegal immigration. I'm Rodney Davis. I'm running for Congress, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Rodney for Congress.
If you're 40 and over, you'll recognize these artists by their first names. Frank, Dean, Sammy, Andy, Nat, Diana, Michael. Well, if you're over 40 or even if you're under 40, you're all in for a treat across Christian County in Central Illinois. You'll hear Central Illinois' largest music library with over 3,500 songs. That's all we can say about it right now. But stay tuned for more when Frank, Dean, Sammy, Andy, Nat, Diana, and Michael are all heard on the radio, your computer, and smartphone.
It's finally springtime at Landmark of Taylorville. General Sales Manager Bill Pinkston here. Wanting a new Chevy, Buick, or GMC truck? We're the place to order them. Wanting a pre-owned vehicle? Our family of dealerships have over 400 in stock. So let us find you what you want. And we're still buying your vehicles, whether you buy from us or not. Your automotive destination is Landmark of Taylorville. We appreciate your business. And remember,
You always do better at Landmark.
SIU Center for Family Medicine across from Kroger in Taylorville provides complete health care to you and your family. If you're insured, underinsured, or uninsured, SIU Medicine can provide health services to all ages, including OBGYN, legal assistance, financial counseling, and behavioral and mental health services. Call SIU Center for Family Medicine Taylorville to schedule your appointment at 217-824-1134. That's 824-1134. Or click their icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Whatever you want to do financially, it's achievable with People's Bank and Trust. Find a personal or business banker simply by clicking the People's Bank and Trust icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Hi, this is Jeff Robinson from Advanced Title. Whether selling your home on your own or through your local realtor, please give us a call at 824-8007 for all your title work needs.
Your information station, WTIM.
I'm Avery Cooper on the WTIM Morning Show. Your stream brought to you by Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark, and People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first. We're on the phone with Taylorville Memorial Hospital Senior Life Solutions Program lead nurse, Amy Graham, and talking about the Senior Life Solutions Program, which is an outpatient program focused on behavioral health. Something I wanted to mention to you, Amy, before break is that this program seems unique in that it relies on referrals. Could you divulge into that a little bit more?
That's exactly right. It is a referral-based program. Again, anybody can refer. We get a lot of referrals, primary care physicians, inpatient psychiatric units, family members, friends, and even individuals. We've had patients hear about the program and realize they've got some issues going on, and they will call themselves and do their own referral. So again, the process is very easy, but you're right, it is definitely a referral-based program.
Tell me about a time that this program has really made a difference in the life of somebody.
Oh, I've got some wonderful stories. I always say it's like every day a patient comes in, we're meeting somebody new, because as they're starting to get better, you're starting to see that true person, and it's wonderful. One patient in particular, it's been a few years ago, he was the most anxious person I think I ever met. I've been a psych nurse for several years, and it was just unreal. He wanted to retire, but everything he did was based off of his anxiety. The gentleman came in, he couldn't even sit still. He was just constantly rocking back and forth, constantly questioning everything that I said, the therapist said, the physician said. But it just took a lot of time with him. And the time he graduated, he was ready to retire. He just felt at that point his anxiety was under control. He was a much happier person, and he felt then that he could actually retire and enjoy retirement. So it was wonderful. I still run into him every once in a while, and he's still doing very well. So it's just that is really the point of the whole program is to get people back into that happiness, enjoying life again.
Tell me a little bit more about the referral system and how people can go into the Senior Life Solutions program, whether that's them referring someone else or referring themselves.
Actually, it's just a phone call to us. Again, it is 217-707-5660. It's a direct line. Just call. We will ask some questions as to the patient's name, phone number, address, who their primary care physician is, a little bit about what they're seeing, why they're calling about this referral. And then from there, we will call that individual, let them know that somebody is concerned about them. And again, if it's not their physician, we don't divulge who referred them. And then we just set up the process of them coming in and getting the initial assessment done.
How does it feel to you as someone who works in this profession to see those kind of success stories?
Well, it's exactly why I'm doing this job. It's just being able to make that difference in somebody's life. I went to the Oak Hill ceremony yesterday and listened to retired veteran talk, and I believe he said it was 1 in every 9 minutes veteran is taking their life. That's something we're trying to change. We're trying to improve these lives so that people aren't even getting to that point of wanting to kill themselves. So any difference we can make, it's all worth it.
And again, we're talking about the Senior Life Solutions program, which is helping seniors with their behavioral health. And, well, behavioral is more mental health. We're running out of time here to an extent. I'd like to give you a moment to maybe cover something that we didn't get to, or just to provide another overview of the program.
Great. This is an outpatient program. Individuals come in from 9 to 1:30. We offer a hot lunch. We do offer transportation. It's all included in the cost of the program. It's a Medicare B-based program, and it is for those individuals that are having issues maybe with grief, guilt, depression, anxiety. It could be some loneliness, difficulty adjusting to something new. We have a psychiatrist on board that's here once a week. We have a trained therapist that meets with the patients 3 times a day. And really, we're just trying to get the word out to just try to help those individuals 65 and older.
And of course, a big part of that right now is because a lot of them just are hesitant to come in and ask for help right now.
Definitely. And we're here to help them get through that.
Yeah. Is Senior Life Solutions Program lead nurse Amy Graham with Taylorville Memorial Hospital. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day, Amy.
Thank you so much, myself, for having me.
Your stream brought to you by People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark. More of the WTIM morning show just ahead, but first a look at the top of the hour national news headlines. Weather to follow, all right here on WTIM.
WTIM.
The Big 870 WTIM Assumption Taylorville, 96.1 W241 CF Taylorville, 107.5 W298 CD Shelbyville, 107.9